one of our favorite musicians ever, Josh Katz, frontman for Badflower. And that's saying a lot because they have like one debut album. Okay, I'm sick. Josh Katz, Badflower, joining us on Loudwire Nights again. So given I've interviewed you a few times now, I'm just going to go ahead and ask on a scale from 1 through 10, how in the mood are you to be interviewed? I know how Mr. Katz operates.
Nobody's ever in the mood to be interviewed. You opened it up really nice by saying that we were one of your favorite artists, so that's like I'm more inclined to like give you the goods.
Okay, cool. Like a 5. Can I get at least a 5 up in this?
5.5.
Beautiful.
5.5, because that if it wasn't for that intro, it'd be like a 1.5.
This is what 5.5 sounds like, people. All right, here we go. And I think I know my way around you a little bit. Let's see. First of all, where were you scouting for locations a few days back for the new video? What can you tell us about that?
Ooh, I haven't even talked about that. I don't know if I should be talking about it, but I'm going to because you asked. We were scouting all around LA. It's going to be. I can't go too far into it. I feel like I'll get in trouble. And it's not going to be something that takes forever to come out either. Like we're shooting the video in the next few days, and I would imagine the turnaround time is going to be pretty quick. So people are going to be able to see exactly what it is. But I can tell you that it's going to be at least an attempt at a tearjerker, like most of our videos are. Ugh. It's going to be very emotional and very powerful, but very different from any of the other videos that we've made.
Is this the video for the Jester?
So it's going to be the video for the Jester.
It's the official video. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I said it.
Well, we actually talked about how you wrote the Jester years ago, and it was about the music biz and feeling like no one was supporting you. Okay, now that you've had #1 songs, and I'm sure that brings a lot of support with it, plus you're in a different place, right? So what are the updated 2019 concerns when it comes to the music industry? Because we all have our concerns within our industry.
I don't have many, honestly. I'm one of the few people who's in the music industry that really likes how things are going. Like, I like streaming. I don't mind that people don't buy records anymore. Maybe it's just because I was born into that sort of, and I was thrown into it once this became my career. And so that makes perfect sense to me, how everything works. And I don't mind it. I also feel like the way that everything is set up now with the internet, anybody who has any bit of talent has a shot to make it. I think that's really cool. Yeah. Whereas before you had to know somebody, you had to have some money behind you, you had to have all these things. You could be the most incredible artist ever and possibly stay unknown forever, and that's just not a thing. You can put your stuff on the internet, and that's that. If it's great, people are going to find it.
That's true. You're the first non-disgruntled musician I've ever spoken to. No, I'm sure there's been others.
Yeah, I figured that as I was saying it. I was like, you probably don't get this answer often, but yep.
That's awesome. All right. You recently praised the band Kitten. You made me go on a mission, Google them, hearing their music. I'd never heard of that band in my life. And you were so complimentary. You compared them to the Beatles. Actually, you wrote, it was like my first time seeing the Beatles. So I'm curious, to you, what separates a good live band to a great live band?
Well, let me just start by saying I had a few drinks. There's a degree of sarcasm there, for sure. But it was just an incredible show. The band was so good. The singer Chloe had this incredible energy. It was the show was in a downtown LA art gallery sort of setting. It wasn't even a venue, and there was probably 55 people crammed into this little place. And she just put on a show like she was playing the Forum. It was insane. I mean, the crowd surfing and the climbing on the thing and jumping off, and she's an amazing singer and dancer too. She was just a star. It was so fun to watch. I had been a fan of this band for a while, and they recently put out a new song that I've been obsessed with, and it was really cool that I got to see the show literally immediately after and see that song live and see the whole deal.
But what is it? What is that X factor for a live band?
There's a lot of X factors. I think the main X factor is confidence. That's it. If you're a confident artist, it doesn't matter if you're the best guitarist, best singer. None of that stuff matters. If you're confident in what you're doing and what you're playing and what you're singing, it's going to be great. It's going to come across great. And that whole band has an insane confidence level.
Okay. All right. You actually kind of touched on my next question, which is, what is the backstory to the August 20th tweet? I'm never drinking again. That sounds like a fun story.
I didn't realize this whole interview was just going to be like an intervention of my tweets.
Yes, because I have come to learn that when we talk about songs, and we already did that. We did the "Okay, I'm Sick," like from track 1 to the last track. We talked about every single song.
Yes, we have.
So I'm like, I'm not doing that again. Plus, he kind of drifts away when you start talking about. So I think that's what I'm saying. I think I'm on to you. Tell me the story.
Yeah. I drank too much. I drank too much alcohol the night before, and then the next day I said I wasn't going to do it anymore. And I knew I was lying. Of course I was lying.
Of course.
I had a drink that night. I had like a lot of drinks that night.
That sounds so familiar. All right. Yeah, it's a typical. I drank too much. I felt like crap. Then I got over it, and life continued.
Yeah, I said some dumb things. You know what it was? It wasn't that I drank too much and felt like crap. It's that I had little bits of memories of the things that I said to people the night before, and it wasn't like I said anything horrible. I just said really dumb.
Yeah.
And you wake up the next morning and you're like in the shower. It was funny. I was just watching a Bill Burr stand up about this when he's like, I remember things that I said in the 3rd grade, and I just sit in the shower and I just go he just can't handle the memory of these things that you said, and that's what I felt the next morning. I said some really, really dumb stuff. Like I did not carry myself in a way that I would have liked to. Like that wasn't the guy that I want to be.
It's never even that bad though, but it's always so magnified in your own head the next day. Like there's that saying, like if you knew how little people thought about you, you wouldn't care. Like I'm paraphrasing, but something like nobody cares.
True. It's so true.
Yeah.
But regardless, I still had to send like a flurry of apology texts to people who were like, "Dude, you were totally fine." I was like, "No, I wasn't. I'm so sorry."
Very relatable. All right. And now this one I'm very curious about. So why did you feel it was important to share that, although it hasn't happened yet, you know where I'm going with this quote, I could absolutely fall in love with a person of any gender. Love is love. Why did you feel the need to share that first at a show and then on social media?
How did I know this one was coming?
Of course.
I've never really said that out loud. It's something that I've always felt for a long time, and it's also it's not like the bravest thing in this sort of climate of the world. Lots of people think that way. I just think that it's important as somebody who's a bit of an influencer. I have some following to say things like that out loud, and it sort of just came out of nowhere. I think it came out like in a joke on stage, but I remember thinking like. I'm glad I said that, even in a joking way. I thought that was kind of important, and so I just elaborated on it in the tweet.
Fair enough. This solves your dilemma, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, where are you going with this? So when we spoke at the Sonic Temple Music Festival, you were saying that there's nothing like love as that intense as like that first young love. This solves your dilemma. It would be like a first. It'll be.
Yeah, right?
Right. I think
Agreed.
This is good.
Yeah, I'm honestly like, I want it to happen. I want it because that's exactly right. It'll be so new and so exciting and like kind of scary. And like, I'm down.
Cool.
I'm ready. I'm not going to force it, but it hasn't happened yet.
You open the door, trust me. You're a good-looking kid. Someone's going to walk through it. Let's put it that way.
Look, there's plenty of hot guys out there.
So many.
Can't wait.
So many. And most are on that other team. Okay. So you're super transparent on social media, as we've established. What are your big picture thoughts on social media and how it affects society? Because you just summed it up perfectly one time when you tweeted, "Leave me alone, but also pay attention to me."
Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts. That's a big conversation. And also, I have a lot of thoughts, but I don't have like a conclusive truth of my own when it comes to that stuff. Like I'm still figuring out how to feel about social media. I really enjoy it for all the worst reasons. And I'm like the first to admit that. Like it's fun. It's like a fun serotonin booster that probably isn't healthy, but it's so fun. Mm-hmm. And I love using it. It obviously can be used for good. And it is often used for good, but it can also be used for evil. And I think I do both.
Okay, you're working on it. You're figuring it out.
It's not. It's not going anywhere. Ugh. It's only going to get more intense. I think the scariest part is people living so closely in that world and not existing outside of it, or not feeling like their existence outside of it is as important. I think that's dangerous. I can't tell you exactly why. Like most people would just have this knee-jerk reaction, like it's not good, it's a bad thing, we shouldn't be doing that. But is it? I don't know. We would have to really sit and analyze every aspect of what that is and the effect that it's having on people. Like it could end up in 200 years from now in our DNA being something that's important, that's so like a part of what it is to be human. It just isn't now. I don't know.
That's an interesting perspective.
You know, we're going to be cyborgs eventually. Like Elon Musk is going to put chips in us and we're going to have access to Google without even having to use our fingers. Like this is a thing. It's going to be a real thing.
Oh,
and we're going to have to embrace that and we're going to evolve. Okay,
well, let's get back on track and away from Elon Musk and his lofty goals in life, and let's hope that doesn't happen. So Ghost went to number 1, Heroin went to number 1, The Gesture is at 17. It was at 21 just yesterday, so now it's up to 17. This is a debut album, Okay, I'm Sick, which is just like knocking it out of the park, song after song. I can ask you what you think of your success, but you're going to be like, it's cool, whatever. So I'm going to ask you, what does your family think of your success and the people who really know you? Because you don't talk about them very often.
Everybody thinks it's great. There's some people around us you absolutely can't believe that it's happening. They're like, this is insane. There's other people who just feel who are like, yeah, of course. Like this is what you've always done. You know, me and the whole group. This is what we've always done since we were kids. Like this is what we feel like we were meant to do. And so it's all just validating. It all makes sense. Like we're actually a little bit sad that it took so long. I'm gonna be 30 next year.
I know you're obsessed with that.
And so I wish that this was all happening at 23. But look, beggars can't be choosers. These are the cards I've been dealt.
You make 30 sound like it's 90.
It's a death sentence.
It's not. It's so not. Oh my! When you're 50, you're gonna look back and be like, "Oh God, I wish I was 30 again." But that's a conversation we'll have in 2 decades.
No, I think when I'm 50, I'm gonna look back and say, "I wish I was 23 again or 24."
23.
Like I would take 30 if I had the choice. Like if somebody's like, "You could be 30 or you could say 50," I'll take 30, of course.
Yeah.
But like if I'm being honest, I'd rather be 24 again.
All right, fine, fair enough. I saw that. This is kind of creepy. I saw that somebody tattooed the "Okay, I'm Sick" cover art on their body, and there's like some logos and some cover art that works, but it's your bloody face on someone's skin with like your eyes blocked off. How did that feel?
Yeah.
Like seeing that?
It's awesome. I think it's super cool.
It's so weird.
It's strange for sure. It's strange.
Yeah. It's
strange just because I want to be perceived as this, like, you know, artist who belongs on this pedestal. Like I write these songs and I'm this guy, like I'm this figure, but I'm of course I'm not. Like I'm just a guy, you know. And it's cool to be objectified in that way, like in a positive way, where like that cover art and the songs that are associated with it have become this symbol for people. That's something that's powerful and special and important, and that's really what it is. Like I don't even see it as my face being tattooed on somebody. I just feel it. I feel it more as like the art and the symbol and everything that our songs represent as being tattooed on somebody. It just happens to be my bloody face.
Okay, that makes it way less creepy. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the nicest, which is a weird word, that you've ever shared a stage with? Because I saw that Shinedown getting that new backdrop for Dinosaur Pileup was pretty damn cool.
It's Shinedown. Okay. Like without a doubt. Shinedown is the nicest band that any other band will ever go out on tour with.
They come across that way, but you just like never know the real.
No, they do come across that way, and it's not bullshit. So completely genuine. Every single member of that band and their crew. Everybody in the Shinedown camp is just they're the most accommodating, sweetest, most thoughtful people. Unlike our band, who are like standoffish jerks at times. but we learn to be a lot nicer through watching Shinedown. Like we aspire to be the way that they are, because it was actually really inspiring.
Aw, that's so sweet. Every time I've interviewed him, he's like the best. But again, right. I've never toured with them. Me. Yeah, you're hit or miss. You never know what you're gonna get.
Well, but no, hang on a second. You like to pick at me. You do.
I do it with love.
You've like picked out. I remember. I'll never forget one thing you said was when you were talking about The Jester, and you were like, "I read this other interview of you where you said, sorry, it was like you were analyzing the lyric, and you were like, the lyric is all my pride is my praise, which means like it's really important to you that people like what you do. But then recently you said, I don't care what people think. So which one is it?
Exactly.
You really poked.
It was a
You
contradiction. I'm just trying to get to the real Josh Katz, and that's because I like you so much and I like your band so much. Otherwise, I'd be here like, so tell me about the themes of the record. Are you working on it?
No, and I appreciate it. I think your interview questions are better. Look, I mean, you don't have to go through every single tweet I've ever tweeted, but we're here. We're doing it.
We're doing it. Just a couple more. All right, just a couple more. We're done. This is neither here nor there, but did you know, as a jeweler, that's not a word, you jewel, did you see that?
I'm literally jeweling as we speak.
You're literally, okay. Did you see that Vape Lung has claimed its first victim?
Yeah, I heard about this. I didn't actually read it. I should read it, but people are telling me about it, and I'm afraid to read it.
Does it concern you?
Of course it does, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready to look at the truth just yet. I smoked cigarettes forever, and I haven't smoked cigarettes because of this thing, and I feel better, and I sing better, and I'm not all congested all the time. And I like what this product is doing for me, and I don't want to know that it's horrible. I don't want to know it.
Okay. Denial.
I have to. I'm going to have to face it soon, probably in like a couple days. But I don't want to talk about it yet. It makes me sad.
Okay. Just maybe give it a Google on your own time when you have a moment. It's
when I'm ready.
When you're ready. In conclusion, Badflower will embark on their first ever headlining tour. So exciting, starting September 28th. What makes you most excited about that?
Because it's all about me, baby.
Yeah. Honest answer.
We've done so many support tours, and they're great. And they're actually really low pressure. I love doing support tours, but this is the first. This feels like it's the culmination of everything that we've created. We get the payoff of it. It's all about us. It's going to be really fun. The shows are going to be fun. We invested a bunch of money and effort into the production, and we're just excited. We're excited to put this show on for people.
Awesome. People could get those dates at loudwire.com. As always, thank you, Josh Katz. The debut album, Okay, I'm Sick. It's been out there since, I believe, February. If you haven't heard it, you're missing out on life. You are always welcome here, Josh. And as always, thank you so much for your time.
Of course. Thank you.